Well, it's time to take apart this Crayola that's been severely abused, and it cost me a whopping $2.99 at the local charity thrift store. Now, if you take a look, if it'll focus down here, what this thing does is it has a pattern that goes like that scrolls along, and then the back is a light. And I watched some videos on it, and it seems like the pattern of light changes. What kids are supposed to do is put these little plastic doohickeys on here, and the plastic picture might have, say, 3 or 4 images, and as the way the light hits it, it then shows it like moving. But I'll just turn this on. I've got some batteries in it. And you can see that there's a rip in the material that's slowly moving up. So I don't know if the flickering is even correct. But gonna take it apart now. But first, flip it over. Seems to be well built. It's pretty sturdy. It's got a battery compartment. You just use 3 AA's. And I'm going to mount the camera so that I can have some free hands and work on it. So the first thing is just to get these batteries out. And then I got to take out the triangle screws all around it. And I'll probably fast forward over some of this if it gets too boring. Oh, I picked up these back in mailbag 29-ish. So it was quite a while ago. Let's just pull this out. So it's that type with a little triangle. Now I'm just going to stop talking for a moment, and that way I can fast forward without sounding like a squirrel or chickmunk. Nothing hiding in there. And nothing hiding underneath there. Oh, came off pretty easy. So it looks like what we have here is we've got a motor right here that's turning this one. That just pulls this along. And this down here is just stationary. Then we've got 2 wires coming in on this side, 2 wires coming in on this side for this light. And here's a circuit board. So I'll try to figure out how to do some close-up on this. I'm going to put the batteries back in it and then let it run until the rip on this screen comes around. So I'll turn it up to fast. And then fast forward it. And there's the tear. I'm just going to pull the camera down to it. Okay, you can actually see here, whoops, Having a really hard time focusing on this. There we go. You can see actually it tore right where the connection is between, well, the two ends of it. So I guess that must have been a weak spot. And right there, what do we have over here? Oh, I wonder if somehow it got loose and got caught on there. Kind of surprising considering this thing appears to be quite well built. So here's the motor. I'll be taking it out since this thing's not going to be usable now. And let me just pull around to the circuit board. Head rat. It's got a blob. I'll see what I can see in this thing. And there's the connection for the light on the one side. And there it is on the other side. The spot that the rip occurs at lines up perfectly with there. I wonder if this thing got exposed to heat and any maybe glue or heat welding they did just kind of let go. But let's take some voltage measurements after I clear that. So for this side of the light panel, 3.55 volts. And for the other side, it'd be helpful if I had it where you could see it. Uh, 3.5, the same. So they're supplying the same voltage to both sides. And let's see what the little motor has. Bouncing around 3.1. Let's just see what happens when I change the speed. Okay, 2.5-ish maybe. So basically the speed on this is just being controlled by the voltage supplied by the little board there. So time to disassemble it. Not sure why they used the same type of screw with a triangle head in it. I could see you using it on the outside to keep people out. Oh, okay. Whoops. Let's get this down. Let's zoom in. Want to see that spot? Whoops. So that's how they're holding this in place with tension, is they've got a spring in here. That way I guess if there's slight movement, it just holds it there. So, zoom back out. And I'll probably do some fast forwarding. And these screws are different sizes than the ones on the outside. They're actually just slightly different. Kind of strange because it adds one more part to the parts list. But hey, whatever makes them happy. I kind of really suspect this thing maybe got left on a dashboard or something. got heated up, because it sure looks like it's nicely made. Though the one thing I would question is they had the overlap, this one overlapping like that, and they're going in that direction. It would kind of make more sense to overlap that way so that if it did become a bit loose, it would continue to work. Though it probably would scar the material pretty quickly. Whoops, there we go. Another one. Well, let's take them all out. Oops. They switched to a smaller one. Okay, let's pull this out. Oh, that was definitely under a bit of tension. Still attached somehow. Okay. So here's the roller on one side. Roller on the other side. This just lifts up. Yeah. Obviously, I'm going to have to cut some wires to get that off of there. Let's just get this out of the way. There and there. Okay, yeah, you can see how this is. Yeah, that was just glued on. Looks like it's tacked on the ends here where there is those two divots. But otherwise, it's just a gluey surface there. Not sure what I can use this for. Kind of weird. But let's just pull this out of here. And let's turn the power back on. Ah, okay. Looks like what they have is an LED strip on this side, an LED strip on this side, and then they're just using like a, well, light tunnel going through. Now, I would have thought when I looked at those videos that this was actually changing. And maybe it's all relative to just optical illusion with this. Not sure. But I now have a nice little light panel. I think that was worth the $2.99. Plus, of course, the motor. And since I've got both ends of these, I just want to see if this is going to rotate. Oh yeah, it's rotating real slowly. So that's still all working. And next I'll go after the board. So just time to pull off the board. I have removed the batteries since I don't want to accidentally short anything. So we have switches on one side. Then on this side, I'm going to bring the camera down a bit. Well, there's not going to be any reason to do a schematic on this. It's just basically a blob chip. But this one here is going to one side for the LEDs. This one here is going to the other side for the LEDs. This here is for the motor, which, as we saw from the voltages, have 2 speeds. You've got a bunch of capacitors, probably some transistors. I'll see if I can see a part number on those. It looks like it says 1HC. I'll put a picture in the corner if I can get it. Then the capacitors and a couple big capacitors. So there's not much more I can do on this. But it's not a bad salvage. Definitely with this light panel, getting a motor out of it. And the fact that for that motor, I've got these, so I can actually drive something. I think this was a good deal. So that's about it for this one. Let me just zoom out for a moment. I'll have to figure out what I can use these parts for in the future. I'll probably also be keeping that nice little piece of plastic in there too. But this light panel is definitely worth it. Well, have a good day. Bye.